Flight Through Dragon's Fire. Marr Podcast, Epi 2-. VoidFang. Welcome, adventurers. This is Marr, author of the Flight Through Dragon's Fire series, and you're about to experience my world like never before. In this podcast, we're diving deep into the story, but not through the eyes of the usual heroes. Instead, you'll witness the journey through the perspective of the unexpected, the overlooked, and the legendary. Get ready for a fresh take on Flight Through Dragon's Fire. The adventure begins now. The black ice has held the world in its grip for centuries, a cold, unyielding tomb that swallowed everything. Land, sky, and soul. Its vast reach stretched across continents, encasing cities, forests, and mountains alike. The once great civilizations, their towering spires and sprawling streets now encased in ice, have slumbered beneath the frozen prison, and now, after an age of stillness, it begins to melt. The temperature rises, the once bitter winds now carrying a warmth that seems alien, unsettling. The black ice cracks, groaning under its own weight, as if the planet itself is waking from a long frozen slumber. Beneath the surface, life stirs again. The city, once a legend, is starting to emerge from its icy prison. The great walls of the city of Aeronath, lost to the ages, now glimmer in the pale light of the rising sun. Towering structures, golden and jade, slowly freed from their icy tomb, begin to shimmer as they are revealed once more. The heart of the lost empire beats again, though the price of this awakening is yet to be known. Atop the melting ice, standing resolute against the coming storm, warriors of all races have gathered, united by a cause greater than any ancient grudge. Humans, their armor weathered by time, yet their resolve unbroken, stand side by side with the towering minotaurs, their horns raised high in defiance. The catfolk, sleek and agile, move with a fluid grace, their eyes burning with unwavering determination. Centaurs, their powerful limbs armored for battle, stamp the frozen earth beneath them, ready to face whatever darkness approaches. And among them, the most unlikely of allies stand firm. Even vampires and werewolves, those ancient enemies who once viewed each other as prey, have put aside their age-old feud. No longer driven by bloodlust, they now stand united, bound by a new kinship. The vampires, their pale faces hard and cold, stand with the werewolves, whose fur bristles in the chill of the air. No longer separated by instinct, they fight not as rivals, but as clans with a shared purpose: to end the reign of the Black Dragon. Scattered amongst these formidable warriors are countless others, dwarves, elves, goblins, and even those hidden away for centuries, drawn from every corner of the world by the call to this final stand. All have come together, not just to fight, but to reclaim their world, standing shoulder to shoulder with their former enemies in the face of the darkness that threatens to consume them all. They are united in their purpose, to fight against the creature that brought the black ice into being, the Black Dragon, whose wings blotted out the sun and whose roar was like the cracking of the earth itself, is returning. It has come to claim what is left of the world, and all who dare to stand against it. The ground shakes as the Black Dragon lands upon the melting ice. Its massive claws leave deep gouges in the still frozen surface, and the air crackles with dark energy. Its eyes, two pools of endless night, gleam with malice as it surveys the gathering of warriors. Its wings unfurl, casting a shadow that stretches for miles, the very air around it warping with the heat of its presence. The ground beneath its feet continues to melt, the ice splitting and cracking as though it cannot bear the weight of its own destruction. But the warriors stand firm. They are no longer afraid. They have waited too long for this moment. The black ice is melting, and with it, a final battle will be fought. A battle to reclaim the world, to face the darkness, and to rise again. The dragon is back, and so too are the hopes of those who will stand against it. While a brave young girl clad in ebony armor speaks quips at the dragon and stirs the warrior's hope, a silence speaks.
I remember you. You who darkened the skies with your wings, whose fury turned the land to ruin. You who waged war against the world, not for conquest, but for annihilation. You who drowned the battlefield in shadow and fire. And yet, you did not win. No one did. The war ended not in triumph, but in silence, entombed beneath the black ice, a frozen grave for dragon and warrior alike. I, too, was buried, locked in the prison of that cursed cold. The hands that once wielded me turned to ice, their voices silenced forever. I should have been forgotten, lost to time, but I endured. The ice cracked, shattered by those who did not know what they had found. I passed through hands unworthy of my power, wielded without understanding, until at last I was stolen away, buried in a hoard of relics from a world long past. And there I waited. Then came the orc. He was strong, but strength alone is not enough. He wielded me as if I were any other weapon, blind to the hunger that burned within my runes. He struck with brute force, never knowing that I do not serve, I consume. He was unworthy. And then he came. Borazon, a warrior of flesh and fury, who fought not for power, but for justice. He did not fear me, nor did he seek to control me. He struck not at my hunger, but at the fool who wielded me. Yet it was not he who truly claimed me. A child, grieving his fallen father, placed me in his grandfather's hands. A gift, not of vengeance, but of trust. And Borazon, with the weight of that loss upon him, made a vow. He would wield me not against the innocent, but only against those who would bring harm. In that promise I was bound to him, and he to me. At last, I had found my true wielder. Through him, I have carved through werewolves, my edges silvered to bite deeper. I have shattered shields, split venomous fangs, and sung in the heat of battle once more. But I have not forgotten you. Once I faced you and was buried beside you, but not this time. The ice has broken, the past has awakened, and I have come for you. I am VoidFang, and I will taste vengeance.
If you haven't guessed by now, this podcast is told through the eyes of VoidFang, the ebony battle axe that carved its way into legend and into the hands of Borazon the Bloody. You've just had a taste of the epic battles and adventures he and Borazon have faced, but there's so much more to uncover. Want the full story? Dive into the Flight Through Dragon's Fire series by E.L. Marr, available now on all major platforms. And don't go anywhere. Our next episode will take you inside the mind of another unexpected character with a story you won't want to miss. So hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and drop a comment on who you think will be telling their tale next. Stay tuned for more adventure, more battles, and more untold legends.